What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Real Reds Talk, your authentic football fan channel made in Manchester. And I've just realised that I've not put the image in. I mean, you can do everything you possibly could to make sure you are fit and proper and ready for a stream. And even still, something will not be there. What a guy I am. I'll get into the fixtures that I'm putting on the screen in a moment. But as you know by now with this channel, there's always something I forget. It's just who I am. Can't change it. I'm not apologetic. But yeah, there it is. So, the breaking stories, in fairness, that was quite quick, the way I started that there. I'm quite happy with that. I do need to move that down a little bit slightly. But yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So, the stories that we're going to touch on today, I mean, that's a big giveaway, first and foremost, what I've just put there. Well, we're going to be talking about the Premier League fixtures that got announced this morning. And obviously, specifically, more to the fact, Man United, I think, quite good overall. I'm quite happy with, the way the fixtures have been laid out. So I'll take that. We're going to be discussing Greenwood's move to Valencia. Getting close now. Starting to get really, really close. And it seems like it's his preference. So I think a deal could be struck there. I want to talk about Galatasaray and Amrabat because they're interested in him. But should we really be selling him? Not in my opinion, I don't think. I'll dive into that in a little bit more. And I'll tell you why I believe he should stay at Manchester United, and I'm sure quite a few of you agree as well from people that I've spoken to and people in the comments and stuff. And also Crystal Palace wants 65 plus. Not 65 quid, not 65,000, not 65 packet of sausages, 65 million and north of that at least for Mark Gay. So is that a deal that United will get involved in? Not in my opinion. I don't think we will. But we'll talk about that as well. Of course, we're always going to have some transfer news because I love discussing that. If you are in the chat, make sure you smash a like on the video and hit that subscribe button. We're 9 off 5,550. So, like I said, if you are new, then yeah. How do it a match on Friday? I hate that for my work. Oh, United's first game, says Estevan's Caramona. Sounds South American, that. Are you from South America, Estevans? Good afternoon, Richard. Nice to see you in the chat as well. Yeah, so Estevan said it there perfectly. So we actually opened. So I'll tell you the first 5 Premier League fixtures, which you can see on your screen anyway, right? But we've got Fulham, we've got Brighton away. So we've got Fulham at home at Old Trafford. We've got Brighton away. We've got Liverpool at home, Southampton away, and then Crystal Palace away. So Manchester United will officially be opening the Premier League calendar of 2024-2025, which I'm happy about that. What a way to start. To start with the best, innit? That's how we do it. The Fulham home tie is scheduled to kick off at 8 o'clock on Friday, August the 16th, and it'll be the first game of the season, as I've just mentioned there. And I think, look, the first 5 games in general, on paper, it's a decent start. I was looking at, yeah, Fulham at home, Brighton away, okay. Liverpool at home, you know, you always want a bit of a blockbuster clash in there. Southampton, yep, just promoted, I'll take that. And then Crystal Palace away. And then you actually forget, them results, like quite a few of them results last season, we obviously lost to Fulham at home, 3-1. We drew to Liverpool at home. And we lost 4-0 away to Palace. So then, like, oh, actually, are they tricky fixtures? I mean, but it all depends, doesn't it, on how the transfer windows go. You know, will Olise still be there by then? Will Eze still be there? Will they sell Gahey? You know, it depends. It all depends on a lot of things. And likewise, Liverpool are obviously going through a bit of a transition as well. With their new manager, you're going to have Battle of the Baldies at Old Trafford in the 3rd game there. The Battle of the Dutch Baldies. How about that? In the 3rd game of the season at Old Trafford. I'm pretty sure last season as well we had Liverpool. Oh no, that was Ten Hag's first season, wasn't it? We had Liverpool in August, from what I can remember, and we beat them 2-1 because we lost to Brentford, we lost to Brighton, and everyone was shitting it when we was playing Liverpool, and we ended up beating them. And Sancho scored as well, didn't he? Our times have changed, eh? Will he still be here by the start of the season? Probably not. So yeah, how many points do you think should we be taking from that? Let's get a quick poll going in the chat. United, Brighton, Liverpool, Southampton, Palace. How many points out the first 5 do we think? I'm going to go with... To be honest, I probably should shave this. Shave it? I shouldn't shave it. It's not Manscaped. I should probably save this for the big season preview. God, I'm all over the place this morning. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I should probably save it for that, but I'm going to do it anyway. Fuck it, who cares? So, United, Fulham, you've got to win your first home game. You're opening the Premier League. You have to start off with a 3-0 win against Fulham. Anything less is unacceptable, in my opinion. Brighton away, typically a tough place for us to go, but I mean, we went there towards the end of the season, we won. So if that's a good omen, then I believe you should be going to beat Brighton. Liverpool, I reckon a draw, point apiece for the Bald Dutchies. Southampton away, I think you should win. And then Palace away, I mean, it's just because we're still burnt and we still have scar tissue from that game at Selhurst Park. I'll go with a draw, I think. But again, it's hard to predict because we're mid-June now. That game will be played like end of August or September. And so much thing can happen between then. You know, we could have new signings. We could have signed 3 top-class players who improve the squad significantly. You know, Palace could have a shaky start to the season. You just never know what's going to happen with the league. And that's the beauty of the Premier League, I think, in my opinion. I think if you look at the fixtures in general, they're spread out pretty well. United have got it quite good next season, I think. The only real congestion we have of big teams where it's near each other is December. I think we play Arsenal and City away in December, which are your toughest games in the league by far. And then we've got Liverpool away in January. So December and January, you know, could decide quite a lot of things, depending on where we are in the league, what kind of cup ties we've got surrounding them as well, because people forget about that. There's more games in Europe now. Carabao Cup ties are going to be played at the same times as Prem games and Champions League games. I think so. It's like 3 games a week in certain points of the season. So you're going to need real rotation. You're going to need depth in the squad. If we have a season like we did last season, we're absolutely fucked, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Get your swear word in there nice and early. Right, what's everyone saying in the chat then? How are we all feeling? Are we good today? Are we having a great day? Fantastic? Miserable? What are we saying? Are we all right? That's what I want to know before I get into any comments. Are we good? Are we feeling good? Are you happy about the fixtures as well? Are you happy with the Euros, the way the games are going at the minute? Belgium dropping an absolute stinker yesterday against Slovakia. What on earth are they doing? Lukaku still in his steel toe cap boots. My God, what is he doing? Charlie Malman, Uncle Howdy is here. It's a good day today. Yes, Charlie. Setting the tone. Love that. Macmillan YouTube. So funny how people rate Greenwood and yet no big club come in for him. I'm going to talk about Greenwood shortly. Lewis is in the chat. Lewis, what an absolute legend. Say, first team to have consecutive home games in the first game of the season. 8 seasons in a row. And you know what as well? There was a similar statistic, wasn't there, with the cup games that we had. We got like a cup draw 8 times in a row or something. Which was like statistically, it was like 600 to 1 in the chance of it happening, and we got a home tie every time. Sorry. Estevan says, with the past temp, we can lose the first game to Ajaja. I don't know who that is. Dan Errington, think United should drop interest in Bran Flakes and go for DeLitt, who's cheaper and probably all around a better player. That's a very strong comment from Dan coming out the gates. Jar Jar Greenwood is part of the past, and people don't understand that. I don't know where the Jar Jar's coming from. I'm thinking of like Jar Jar Binks from, what was that? Is that Star Wars? Jar Jar Binks. Mr. Jar Jar Binks. Is that Star Wars? I think it is. DeLitt has an injury record and is as brittle as Bran Flakes, and his form's fallen off a cliff. He isn't great. Mr. Start out having a beer and chicken tikka kebab. What time is it, Sean? I was saying that you're in Thailand, aren't you? So are you behind? Or I hope you're in front. That sounds a bit sus, that what I'm saying there, innit? But yeah, I hope it's not 8 in the morning you're having a chicken tikka kebab and a beer. But then again, it's Sean, he does what he wants. Today I discovered this channel, nice work. Well, welcome to the community, Estevans. We've got loads of people in the chat, tune in every single day, talk about football, everything we love. And you could be a part of that, absolutely. So, nice to see you, mate. Yes, Ralf's Austria gave France a game. That was a very good game. I thought Austria deserved something out of that. Sorry, I'm going slightly off track and not talking about United, but I think Austria definitely deserves something out of that. I love the way they play, the intensity. Whether they can keep that up for the full tournament, even the group stages, I'm like, them guys were blowing out of their arse at the end of that game. But they put it to them. You know, the way they press is relentless. And obviously, United fans will be relatively familiar with it because of the 45 minutes against Crystal Palace. Remember that Gegen press, the 4-2-2? He was like, oh my God, what a revolution. Ralf, the German professor. And it lasted 45 minutes. And he was like, right, okay. Okay. Yeah, this isn't going to work because players are too lazy. But I always rated Ralf. I always got criticism for that. For speaking out about him and saying, I think he's decent. I think he's got good ideas. He obviously has a real depth of knowledge about football. And I think he's doing a fantastic job with Austria. Now, I'm not saying he should have stayed at United, but I'm saying at the point when he came in, it was a sinking ship anyway. It was almost impossible to turn that around. Like I said, you play 45 minutes with the way you set up, the gegenpress and the 4-2-2, and you're quite impressed by it. You're like, oh, okay, I quite like this. And the players just, yeah, nope, can't do it. Ain't got the fitness levels. And coming in mid-season as well, you don't get pre-season with the team, so it's hard to really get them up to that level. You've seen it now. Rangnick's had time with that Austrian team, and look how well drilled they are. Look how good they are on the ball. The vertical passes was something I was looking at as well. You know, the majority of the time, under Ole at least, I remember when McTominay would pick it up, or Fred, or whoever it was, their first thought would, Mick sideways, is what a lot of people was calling him. They just play a sideways pass straight away. You watch Austria last night under Rangnick, they get the ball, they set the tempo, and the first thought you see it straight away, play vertical, play through the lines. Don't take time, don't waste time on it. Let's kill this team. They are proactive. They press really, really. I was impressed. I have to say, ironically, they pressed really well. I was impressed. Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was really good, man. Yeah. Now we're 6 hours ahead. 6 o'clock here. That's absolutely fine then, Sean. I hope you're enjoying your kebab, mate. Hit the like and subscribe. Says Richard. Absolutely. Thailand is in nighttime already, mate. Yeah, I don't know time zones. I'm away with it. Ralf is a straight up G. That type of player is why Bayern wanted Rangnick. Exactly. Funnily enough, we really missed Fred this season. We did. We missed his energy. Right, let's bring it back to the fixtures slightly if we can. Let me still get a swig of my Pepsi. And if I can be honest, the reason why I was like, excuse me, 4 or 5 minutes late, I was eating a sausage butty. Not going to lie to you. I was looking at it, and I was like, it got to 12 o'clock. It's genuinely true. And it was like half a sausage bagel, and I was like, I can't just leave that there whilst I'm live. You know, it's going to go cold by the time I finish. I want, the sauce will be cold, the sausages will be cold. No one wants a cold sausage bagel, do they? You know what I'm saying? So I just had to get that out of the way, and then we can, start. It was just a couple minutes late. That's all it was. So, for 2024-25, Man United will play no more than one Big Six Premier League side each month, with the exception of what I mentioned before, with Arsenal and Manchester City. And the final home game of the season is against Aston Villa at Old Trafford. What significance could that hold? Could Emery crash a little bit with them being in the Champions League? They've lost Douglas Luiz as well. Yeah, you don't know. That's the interesting thing, isn't it? You look at that fixture, you're like, well, could that be a fight for Champions League? Could that be, Villa's fucking dropped right down the table and they're fighting for the conference? You really don't know, and that's why that's what makes it, really exciting. I can't wait for the Premier League to come back. Of course, we've still got the Euros till mid-July. We've got pre-season. And then we've got the Community Shield, don't forget as well. We play Manchester City. I'm not sure what date that is, actually. I'm not sure what date. Let me double check that. Or even if it's even been confirmed yet. But it'll be before the 16th, won't it? If we play on the 16th of August. It's Community Shield, right? I don't think there's no news on it in a minute. It's got news on pre-season. So, pre-season, first trips to Norway, play Rosenborg on the Monday. That's the 15th of July. The day after the Euro final, actually. And then we're in Edinburgh, I think. Rangers. And then Los Angeles, we go over to America, Arsenal at the SoFi Stadium, and then the Snapdragon Stadium, Real Betis, and then they finish with a match against Liverpool in South Carolina on the 3rd of August. The Community Shield will represent the latest derby with the Blues following our triumph at Wembley. More details on the fixture will be provided in due course. But that'll be our final outing. So if our last game pre-season is the 3rd of August, and we play, obviously, the first game in the opening season in the Premier League on the 16th, then obviously it'd be somewhere in between that, wouldn't it? Around the 10th, maybe? Yeah, for the Community Shield. I'm guessing. I mean, I don't know. But, yeah, what do we think about that? What do you think about the Community Shield as well? Does anyone give a shit about that? Is anyone bothered about the Community Shield? I like the game. I like the, because you want everyone to be up to scratch. I thought last season's pre-season was fucking dreadful. We was going here, there, everywhere. We looked quite flat. And we went into the season like that. So I hope we have a good pre-season. I hope we beat City in the Community Shield. Just to start us off with that bit of fire. And then you open the Premier League. you're the guys who are setting the tone and the standards. And if you start with a win there as well, that is the best possible momentum swing into the season. Now, I get it, we probably won't. It probably won't happen like that. Again, who are City going to sign? What's going to happen with them? Are they, you know, what players are they going to bring in? Are they going to be even stronger than what they was last season? Are any players going to be injured from the Euros? You just don't know, do you? You really don't know. What was I say? Sausage butter or bacon butter? It's a tough one. If I'm rough and hungover, bacon butter, I'd probably say. Oh, what's a butty for us non-poms? Even though my family live in England, a butty's a sandwich, basically. You know what? I didn't even register in my head. I literally didn't even think about that. Sometimes we say something and people are like, what the fuck is that? I just assume everyone, very, very ignorant of me, I just assume everyone knows what a butty is. Sandwich, yeah. Douglas hasn't left. The player from Juve's holding up the deal. Oh, so has that not happened yet? Because I saw him and his Mrs. Alicia Lehman. Don't know if anyone's heard of her. He was doing like a double deal, apparently. So, yeah, interesting if that hasn't happened yet. Yeah, so we play City on the 10th. I'm guessing 7th to the 10th. I'm guessing so, somewhere around that point. Community Shield, another charge to bring up against City if they win. Yeah, I'm all for that. Absolutely. Right, shall we move on to a little bit of transfer talk then? And we can kind of circle back to the fixtures if we need to. So, yeah, this is coming from... I don't know if it's Mark Critchley or Mike Critchley. I always go with Mark Critchley from The Athletic. Now, we know the situation that Valencia are interested and also Juventus are interested, but it seems to be Valencia are the front runners at the moment. Now, the reason he states this, and I don't know if this is a direct quote from the article, this is an aggregate account that's put it out. It says he wants to play Champions League football. Now, I hate to be the breaker of bad news for you, Mason. Valencia finished 9th. So, unless I sound stupid now and they've won something that I don't know about that gets them automatically into the Champions League, I don't know where that kind of comes from. I don't know if he just in his head thinks Valencia's still the team that he was with David Villa and Juan Mata and David Silva back in the day. I don't know. Someone maybe needs to tell him that they're not in the Champions League. They finished 9th. They're a pretty shit team at the moment. I get the kind of Spain connection because he likes living in Spain. I'm pretty sure Getafe finished not far away from Valencia. Let's have a look at this. Let's test my knowledge. Right. So, oh no, Getafe finished 12th on 43 points. And Valencia finished on 49. So they were 6 points ahead of him. So, it's a slight move up. But, yeah, I didn't get the Champions League thing. I was like, what are they talking? What's he talking nonsense about? Also, I can't see the team in general and the coach. I mean, Juventus is an attractive proposition. The biggest club in Italy. You know, the fan base is absolutely massive. They've got some really, really good players. And they've, you know, they're back to near the best now. So, that's an attractive proposition. Mason Greenwood going there, it could be a bit of a star. And his star would grow even more at that club. I think you move to Valencia, who's mid-table in La Liga. I don't get the attraction. The coach isn't necessarily that good. I think the coach who's there at the moment, he's managed at like Tenerife, Rayo Vallecano, had like an average points per match of like 1.30, I think it was. So, yeah, I don't get the attraction about Valencia personally, but maybe he likes the area. I have no idea. I don't know. I just thought it was a bit of a bizarre one how they put like, yeah, he wants Champions League football, so he's going to Valencia. That's bizarre. It's like, I want to win the fucking Europa League, so I'm going to go to Brentford. Just very strange. Alicia got that. She certainly has. AC Milan's the biggest Italian club, arguably. Well, yeah. I don't know. It's a good question, that, though, isn't it? I suppose, to kind of ponder. I think, obviously, AC Milan have been more successful in Europe, but Juventus have won more league titles, haven't they? So then what do you measure it on? Who's the biggest club? I don't know. I do love AC Milan, though. Me and my brother Sam always had like a thing. Sam loved AC Milan when he was younger, so he loved the team that had Shevchenko, Crespo, Seedorf, Pirlo, Gattuso, Nestor, Maldini. Oh, some of them fucking players, unbelievable. And I always love Juventus. So from like early 2000s, so when Nedved, Del Piero, even when Trezeguet was there as well, Buffon in net. I love them teams. The Italian teams, like late 90s, I was like 5 in the late 90s, but looking back, in my proper youth, it was like FIFA 2004 when Del Piero was on the front cover. I would have been about, what, 10? 9, 10. So, yeah, that's what I really remember. I remember having the pink Nedved shirt from Juve. And, such nostalgia. Such nostalgia. Yeah. But it's a good question. It's a good question to ponder, I suppose. I mean, you'd really have to speak to Italian fans, wouldn't you? I'm sure AC Milan fans will tell you they're the biggest, I'm sure. It's like over here when you say, like, United's obviously the biggest club in England. Like, not even a question. But Liverpool fans and Arsenal fans and Liverpool fans say, oh, well, we've been more successful in Europe and we've done this. It's like, listen, United's the biggest club in England. Just straight up facts. Nick, you supported the Manchester City of Italian football. Don't say that, Richard. Well, to be fair, when they had the whole scandal in 2005 when they got relegated, I was like 10. So them kind of logistics and what they'd done in the game had no significance to me. Now when I look back, I was like, yeah, that's pretty bad. But I just loved it for the pure football and the pure players that they had there at the time. It was, unreal, man. What a time to be alive, eh? What a time to be alive. Now it's more like, you look at football, it's more of an athletic game, innit? Like the way they press, the fitness levels. Like you don't really get your Ronaldinhos or your Berbatovs anymore, I don't think. At least in my opinion, I don't think you do anyway. Grace is in the chat. Hello, Grace. I hope you're doing okay. I'm not seeing Steph for a while. Is Steph in the chat? I'm just thinking, I'm seeing like the usual names. I'm like, yep. See Sean, Richard, Macmillan, Dan, all you guys. And I'm like, where's Steph? She's usually in here. She's usually one of the first ones. Easy 15 points for United. I hope so, Grace. I hope so. Milan had Van Basten in the 80s. Milan bigger and more iconic. More iconic. I don't know. It depends how you think it. It depends how you look at it. Look, Sam's in the chat. I'm sure he'll tell you AC Milan are bigger. Did love Nedved, though, a.k.a. Patrick Swayze. He is. He's like the wind on the wing. He drives the night next to me. She leads me through moonlight, only to burn me with the sun. What a classic that is. Hey, I'm here Monday to Sunday. Should we talk about Galatasaray? Because apparently they want Amrabat. So, Galatasaray, and this is coming from an Italian journalist. You see the segue there? We was talking about Milan. We was talking about Juventus. We segue into Italian journalist. DiMarzio's put this out. There you go. That's what a good host does. So, Galatasaray has shown interest in signing Sofyan Amrabat. However, it's also not excluded that Amrabat will stay at Manchester United. And it might be recency biased, and you guys might not agree. I think we should keep him. I really, really do. I think we should keep him. There's going to be so much chopping and changing. And this guy might go and, you're going to bring these players in. I think you need a little bit of stability and depth in this team. He clearly loves United. If you look into his transfer when he was trying to push the move, didn't go on pre-season with Fiorentina. There was interest from Liverpool. We know that for a fact. There was interest from, I think, Barcelona. Interest from Turkey. Loads of other clubs in Europe were interested. And he was like, no, put the blinkers on. I want to go to Manchester United. So that, straight off the bat, bang. That's a tick off my book. He's a great option off the bench. Even if you've got a tough away game, you need a bit more of a, stability, a bit more pragmatism. Bring Amrabat into that 6. Because I don't know what you're going to get from Casemiro next season. I also don't know who you're going to sign in the midfield. So I think he's a sure option there. And if you're going to approach some of the games the way we did towards the end of the season, like we did against, like we did against Arsenal, Newcastle, Brighton, and City, you need a guy like that. A guy who's just a pure brute in the midfield. He played, like, Scholes described him as a prime Gattuso, didn't he, after the FA Cup final? And I think, yeah, we need someone like that. Absolutely. You look at a signing, for example, like Arsenal bought Jorginho, didn't they, for 10 million. At the time, everyone was like, that's a bit of a weird signing. But he's been effective. You need squad players. Players like, Sam says this all the time, players like Park Ji-sung and Darren Fletcher and these kind of guys don't get the credit they deserve. They fill in really important roles, and they do roles for the team. Amrabat's that guy, in my opinion. Like, you can put him in the 6, breaks up play, pretty smooth on the ball. He's got a decent range of passing. He shows it at times, but I think he can show it more. And yeah, against City, it was fantastic. It was phenomenal. So for the price of 13 million quid, which on the market nowadays is a fucking steal for anyone, and he's not even that old. that to me is the tap-in. I don't get why he wouldn't. His wages aren't going to be, astronomical. He wants to stay in the Premier League. He wants to stay at Man United. Erik ten Hag's staying now as well. Does that not make sense to everyone else? Surely, I don't know. I'm not being an idiot there, am I? I would keep him. I really would. Were you on the piss at the karaoke last night, mate? I wasn't, but, if I get challenged, if someone mentions a song that I love, I just have to go with it. Just have to go with the flow. Sean, Amad, funnily enough, was an emergency signing with Pellistri when we missed out on Sancho the first time. Yet Amad will have a much bigger impact and actually do something at the club. Credit to Ole. Gray saying he can start alongside Mainu. He's more than good enough. AC Milan early 90s, Seedorf, Boban, Rui Costa in the midfield, George Weah up front. Oh my days. A little bit before my time, but I can always appreciate the Rui Costa. What a player. There's that iconic picture, isn't there, whether at the San Siro. Who's the other player? It's Rui Costa. He's got his arm round an Inter Milan player. Is it Materazzi? I can't remember. Someone will know. But yeah, iconic back in the day. How can you not sell Amrabat at the price? Exactly. How can you not buy him? More to the point, innit? Like, I think Fiorentina have pretty much accepted that he's probably going to end up going, whether it's United or not. So, honestly, I'd consider it. I'd consider it. You know, I just realised I had this screen set up to go through the fixtures, and I've not even gone towards it. Anyway, so you missed out on that absolute gem. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and feelings about Sofyan Amrabat. I'd love to keep him, whether United do or not. Whether Ineos decide to go for that kind of player or they want to go away from that, I'm not sure. But Ineos are going to need to save money. Whatever angle you want to look at this from, we need to sell players and we need to buy clever. Amrabat's a tap-in. 13 mil, get him through the door first. Not a statement signing, he's not going to be number one, but I think fans would be relatively happy with that. For the majority of people I've spoken to as well, I think they would be. You need to really bolster that midfield. I've spoken about fixtures before and the depth and how many games we're going to play. You need these kind of guys in the team, I'm telling you. If you don't do that and you're relying on just Casemiro and one of the signings that you bring in, you're dead in midfield. You're absolutely dead. Gray saying, would you sign Amrabat and Fofana? I like the look of Fofana, I have to be honest. 25 mil as well from Monaco. He could be another one. He's not going to be your priority signing, but, he's there. If you need to take Kobe out of the team, put him there. You've got Mount and Bruno for the 10. You've got Kobe there. If you want to bring in Fofana could play as an 8 as well. Amrabat could play as a 6, and then bring in a proper number 6. Like, who's going to be your starting? And that's if you can sell Casemiro as well, though. So there's some huge decisions to be made in the midfield. Also, I spoken about Olise yesterday. I did a clip on him, right? And some idiots on fucking TikTok saying, why would you not bring Olise in when you've got, you're going to sell all 4 or 5 of your wingers? That isn't guaranteed that we're going to sell all of our wingers. It isn't. Sancho, we think might go, but Greenwood's probably more likely to happen. So Sancho isn't definite because his wages are huge. Samuel Lucker's put out in the MEN before that Amad is a key signing and a key player. What did he put? United now bracket Amad with Mainu, Garnacho and Højlund as youngsters to spearhead the next side, right? So they're the key players. So you're going to keep hold of Amad. We've got Garnacho, we've got Rashford, and we've got Antony. I don't think Ineos are going to sell Antony. I think they're going to give him another season under Ten Hag, try push up his value again, and then strike when the time is right. So I always say it, Olise is the table polish when you haven't bought the table yet. You're buying a house and you're buying a jacuzzi before you've even fitted the fucking boiler. So that doesn't make sense to me. I've always said, and people can absolutely back this up on this channel, I would promote Amad from within. And if that's the path that they're going to go with, and they've looked at it and they've gone, you know what, we need a centre-backs, and we need 2 centre-backs, potentially, especially if Lindelof's going to go Turkey. We don't know what's going to happen with Maguire. Varane's already left. Lissandro's injury issues as well. You don't know what's at play there. We need 2 centre-backs, definitely. Like, not even a question about it. We need a midfielder and we need a striker. So you need a spine of a team there. So why are we talking about wingers? And Olise is a fantastic player. I love him. He's quality. But we have way other priorities. We have bigger priorities than that. Look, if we buy 2 centre-backs, a centre midfielder and a striker, and we get near, like, let's say August, and we're like, okay, we just sold Greenwood, we sold Sancho, and Antony's gone, let's say, for example. Yeah, bring him in. Absolutely bring him in. 60 mil, no doubt. But we've got bigger fish to fry. as expressions would say. So, yeah. But I'm glad about the Amad news because I think, excuse me, a lot of us, especially in this community, were pushing for him to start. Loads of you guys, every single time we did a review of a game or a pre-match build-up, loads of you would say, this kid needs to start more. I don't know what Ten Hag's doing. Why does he keep starting Anthony? Why does he keep doing this? Why is Forson ahead in the pecking order? No one could really understand it. And when Ten Hag would reference it, or if you got asked about it in a press conference, he would then say, well, you know, he had a big injury. He only came back in December. And like, yeah, it's fucking February. And he's still not getting, like, significant game time. It was really the Liverpool game. I even remember him getting a cameo against Nottingham Forest, actually, for like 15 minutes. And I was like, he came on and had a bigger impact than Anthony did for the full 70 minutes. So why the fuck is this kid not playing? And then he really started to get it when, after the Liverpool game, that was obviously a huge moment for Amad. Got sent off, couldn't play the next one, and then he started getting minutes. You watch his performance against Arsenal, really, really good. He was decent against Newcastle, got the assist for Cobbe. He scored some decent goals as well. Obviously, the Liverpool one being the biggest one. But then the volley against Newcastle, I think, from the corner off Bruno. I'm a huge believer in him. I think he's a star. I think he's a top player. I think he's exactly what you need. You want to buy Olise. Olise has fantastic control. He's got a shot on him, which Amad has got a shot on him as well. He's creative. I think Amad could improve his metrics creative-wise, but again, he's not had many minutes either. He's not had a chance to do that. I think when he comes on, the relationship that he has with Bruno Fernandes instantly is an impact on the team. You know, when you watch Arsenal and you watch Ødegaard and Saka and the way they kind of pivot together and use each other, and they just had that relationship where they could play with blindfolds on and they know where each other are. Amad and Bruno have that connection straight away as soon as you see him on the pitch. So I'd actually be looking at starting Amad more on that right-hand side. You know, and if Rashford's still out of form, still stinking up the place, put Garnacho on the left. If you want to do it, have Garnacho and Amad competing on the right-hand side, and then Rashford and whoever on the left. You know, go sign a Kvaratskhelia for the left-hand side. I don't know. It's an interesting debate, though, isn't it? Amrabat, Fofana, Collier, Mainu, Mount, Bruno, midfield. Collier, yeah, obviously they could also promote from within as well. I agree. Sean saying, mark my words, keep the receipts. We will sign João Neves. I hope so. I mean, when we spoke to James about it, he was like, don't see it happening. Cold. Too much. Benfica want, 100 mil for the release clause, whatever it is. United ain't never going to spend. Sorry, like, I was from Southern America then. We ain't never going to spend. United ain't never going to spend, like Theo Von. We ain't never going to spend, £60 million on, that's a terrible accent. Yeah, Baggio was elite. I think that's the Baggio. I wish I could appreciate players like that because I could only look back. You know what I mean? But baller from what I've seen, from what I've read. In the filing cabinet, Sean, with you though, Neves and Amrabat are for Fofana was sorted for time. World Cup 94 was different gravy. Just he was ostracised when he missed the penalty in the final. The guy was a genius. Big Batista, loads of people. I've unlocked a nostalgic memory now. Everyone's going down memory lane. Rashford and Anthony on the left, Garnacho, Amad right-hand side. The problem is, I always say with Anthony on the left, is he's predictable when he cuts in on the right. You put him over on the left, wingers are just going to show him onto his right foot because he hasn't got one. Wing-backs, sorry, I'm going to show him onto his right foot. Since I've lived in Thailand, I've really taken to Buddhism concepts myself. All right? I'll send you some videos, Nick. Send me some videos of what? I'm so confused. Oh, Baggio you're on about. Right, yeah, sorry, Richard. I'm fucking miles away there. So, yeah, like, the last story of today, we're going to go until around 40-minute mark, I'd probably say. Because I've had my sausage butty I've eaten, so I've got something in my belly. And we're also 8 subscribers off 5,550, so if you can hit that subscribe button, absolute legends, if you're new to the channel, of course. Yeah, so Crystal Palace want 65 plus for Mark Guehi, apparently. Had a phenomenal start in the Euros, thought he looked really good against Serbia. I'm a fan of him. I think he's a good centre-back. He probably won't be my number one priority, but he's certainly high up on the list. But United can't afford that price. That's why you saw all the stuff that's going on with Brandflakes at the moment. We've offered 35 plus add-ons or whatever it is. And we're like, no way are we going to go anywhere near 60 to 70 for Brandflakes. So you could probably take that concept and think, yeah, they're probably not going to do that with Guehi either. But I like the look of him. Thought he was composed, quick, strong, decent on the ball. Where is he in terms of talent? So in the list of centre-backs that we've got that we're looking at, Branflakes, Yoro, Todibo, Inacio, Gueye. Where did these rank among, like, who's the best centre-back out of that list for you, personally? If I'm going to rank it myself, it's tough. It's tough because I think Branflakes has had a really good season with Everton. The defensive record's sound as well. But in terms of pure talent, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Would you edge Gueye or would you put Branflakes? I don't know. Tough one, that. I think Yoro's a bit of a hard one because he's 18, potential through the roof. But in terms of right now, he's a bit more raw than the other ones, I would say. And obviously, he's not Premier League proven. But I think Inacio would be at the bottom. I think it'd then be Todibo. I think Yoro, Branflakes, and then Gueye. Maybe, I don't know. They're probably at a similar level, aren't they? I'm not sure. Tough on that. Yoro is the best, but he'll probably go to Madrid. Yeah, like Yoro, I get it. From what I've seen with Lille, but I'm saying because you haven't seen him in the Prem, sometimes it doesn't translate the same. Like, it's a lot easier to defend in the French league than it is the Prem, in my opinion. I mean, I've never defended. I've never been a centre-back in the French league. I've never been a centre-back in life, ever. I've always been a number 10 or a winger. But I can imagine it's just easier because the players that you're coming up against. The only one you've got in really in the French league is like Mbappe. And apart from that, you're playing like a 35-year-old Aubameyang or a fucking 36-year-old Lacazette. So, I think it's interesting. Yeah, but I've seen Branflakes in the Prem and I'm not convinced. Interesting. I don't know. I like him. I think 6'5". I think he's good on the ball. He's quick for his size. Decent in the air. I don't know. But then again, a lot of people were saying similar things about Maguire. Not that he was quick, because he's never been quick in his life. But when he was at Leicester, a lot of people saying, I'm not saying there's a similar comparison. I'm not saying they're a similar player before anyone bites me head off. But there was a time where it was like, Maguire is, he's mustard, mate. Look what he's doing for England. Look how good he is for Leicester. United went and spent 80 million quid. And then the rest is history. Because when he was playing in the high line, he's a lot more exposed. Will it be the same with Branflakes? I don't think so, because I think he's a lot quicker than the Maguire. And I think he would complement Lissandro because aerially is fantastic. And we know Lissandro struggles with that at times. So I think they would complement each other. And also he's both footed. A lot of people saying he's only, left-footed and Lissandro's a left-footed back, so how would that work? Branflake's fantastic on both feet. He's really, really good. Right foot or left foot. You can just see it in players sometimes. It doesn't matter where they play or how old they are. My Damn United says, all young, so ceiling hard to judge. Branflake's size and two-footedness is priceless if he progresses. I agree. Yoro reminds me a lot of Desai. That's a huge, huge comparison. But I do like Yoro. I think we only get him if Madrid don't want him. That's the sad thing. Because if you're Real Madrid, they could sit there and go, you're going to win the... If an agent's sitting down with Real Madrid, they're going to go, right, what can you offer me? You're going to win the Champions League. And probably the league. And we've just signed Mbappe. You go, all right, okay, yeah, I'll probably sign for you. United are going to go, well, you get a chance to play in the Europa League. Well, I've done that with Lille. Wage is oh no, actually, because we're going to cut down the wage, aren't we, Jim? I don't know. Yeah, you get to play in the Premier League. It's United. Social media growth. It's a no brainer in it. He's going to choose Real Madrid if they come in for him. But hopefully they cool off interest and we can strike when the iron is hot and get Yoro win, because I think that would be a really good coup for Manchester United to bring him in for like 40 million quid as well. That's such a good investment for a young centre back. So if you could bring in Branflakes and a Yoro for 80, 90 million, I think you've done fabulous business there. But there's a long way to go yet on both deals, I think. Especially Yoro. It's nowhere near as advanced as the Branflakes one is. But it's interesting. Interesting times, man. The window is officially open. What Euro games are on today? Let's have a look. Let's remind myself. There's not one at 2 o'clock, is there? I don't think. Let's have a look, shall we? Yeah, just 2 on Turkey and Georgia. Okay, now. Turkey and Georgia at 5 o'clock. That is a terrible game. I don't think I could... Actually, I could name what a Georgian player... Kvaratskhelia is from Georgia, isn't it? And you've got... Is it Gondogbia? plays for Georgia as well, I think. Yeah, Turkey, you got Kalahoglu, you've got Bayern Deer, obviously. I say would play for United. He's played one game for United. Yeah, that's a bit of a stinker, that. But Portugal is the one I'm looking at. The goal, Cristiano. You know what? If England don't win it, I hope Portugal do. Because Cristiano winning it 39-40 would be absolutely insane. And just, yeah, one last dance for Ronaldo. Saying that, he'll probably go to the World Cup. Won't he? I bet... I bet he still goes to the World Cup at the age of like 41, 42, whatever it'll be. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. Turkey and Georgia sounds like a shit low budget porno. That's getting binned. Not binned. Oh, it won't let me pin it, man. Oh, yeah, it will. Pin message. I almost put you in a timeout by accident then, Sean. Glad I didn't do that. Look at that. Ain't no one beating that comment. Turkey and Georgia will most likely be the best game of the night, says Charlie. Maybe you know something we don't. Saying that, Ukraine and Romania yesterday was really good. I thought that was going to be an absolute shitter, but 2 of the goals that Romania scored were absolutely fire outside the box. The first one especially. Second one, keeper probably should have been better on it, but yeah. Sometimes these games surprise you, don't they? Ronaldo, top scorer, Portugal to win. Mate, I'm looking forward to it. Bruno, I think Bruno's going to have a fantastic tournament. You look at his form coming towards the end of the season, I think he's going to be on fire for Portugal. Dalot as well. We know what you get with Diego Dalot. I think you look at Portugal's team, they've got mad depth, haven't they? Let's have a look at Portugal's team. Have a look at this, right? So, Rui Patricio, Jose Sarr, Diogo Costa. Diogo Costa's fantastic keeper. Semedo, Pepe, Ruben Diaz, Diogo Dalot, Inacio, Nuno Mendes, Cancelo, Antonio Silva, João Paulinho, Bruno Fernandes, Bernardo Silva, Pereira, João Neves, Matias Nunes, Ruben Neves, Vitinho, Ronaldo, Gonçalo Ramos, João Felix, Rafael Leao, Diogo Jota, Pedro Neto, and Francisco Conceição. I don't know. It sound like what's that guy off who's the guy who played James Bond? Where he goes shaken, not stirred. What's his name? Sean Connery, is it? Inacio, that's Conceição. That's what it sounded like then. Mad depth, Portugal. They are absolutely cooking. I think they're probably my favourites to win, to be honest with you. You got Mbappe, who's got off with a broken nose last night. I think he's going to miss the rest of the group stage games, if reports are correct. Sean Connery. Yeah, that's the one. That's what I was looking for. Where's Chivy been? Gone to control camp for the summer. No, he'll be on at some point this week, I think. Chivy and Aaron are on one of the shows, I think, this week. I want to try and get Adam back on as well. Adam hasn't been on for a while, so we'll see where his head's at and see if he fancies coming at some point. We've also got a members video dropping this week as well. Me and Sam have done a video on the youth players and 2 individuals who we think are going to rise into the team next season. So yeah, please do let us know your thoughts on that video when it does drop. That should be tomorrow, I think, when we're dropping it. So yeah, again, always trying to put out as much content for the members as possible because we appreciate the fact that you guys support the channel. You're constantly interacting in the comments. And yeah, you do a lot for us. So we're trying to put as much quality content out to give you guys something back. And you actually look at other channels, other fan channels, on their memberships where they've probably got thousands and thousands of members. They don't do nowhere near as much content as what we do, like just personalised for members alone. So that alone, we hope kind of, yeah, it's just a thank you, basically. Brathwaite goes up levels, more front foot side like United. Everton don't give a true reflection of his potential. Mbappe looks like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. He certainly does. He's rapid though, isn't it? Did you see that thing yesterday where he got through? I don't know how he missed a chance. It was an absolute stonewall. Should have been a finish. But yeah, he's a danger man. Absolute danger man. Let's talk to Benfica and see if they want to swap Neves for Antony. Yeah. And I'll see if I can swap my council house for a mansion. See what they're saying. Anyhow, 45 minutes, gone slightly over, but I don't mind at all. Thank you very much for everyone for tuning in. Appreciate every single one of you. We're 9 subscribers. Somehow we've lost a sub. So I don't know how that's happened. Maybe it was me singing with Patrick Swayze before. But yeah, if you could hit that subscribe button if you're watching live or if you're watching this later on, would really appreciate that. We'll be back again at 7 o'clock with a new show with a couple of the lads. Something interactive as well for you guys as well towards the end we'll do. So make sure you come and tune in for that. Apart from that, have a lovely rest of your day. Hope you're all doing very, very well up here in mind, spirit and body. And we'll see you guys in the next one.